Fallible Nation. Welcome to Fallible Nation Live. I'm your host, Brent Dallin, and it is amazing to have you guys here tonight. I am so excited. And if you're catching us on the replay, guess what? I'm excited that you're here too, guys. I'm so excited that you're taking part in this because I've got a show for you tonight, guys. Really, really excited. So whether you're catching us on the replay, shout out in the comments, let us know you're here. And if you're catching us live, jump into the chat and let us know you're here and join in the party. It sounds like we're having a couple of technical delays tonight. So if I start to I'm hardline into the internet, but I don't know, the whole house seems to be having some crazy eyes. So we'll see how this goes tonight. What's up, Andy? Nice to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on tonight. I am excited about tonight's show because a new year has descended upon us. Would you like this to be your big year though? I mean, right? That's what we all hope for each year. We aim to make every year better than the one before, even if it was a good year. And that's okay. Incremental growth every day, every week, every month, every year, it's an absolute possibility and it should be a goal. So how do you get there, right? That's the big question. How do we achieve our goals this year? I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions or anything like that. You all know I'm not a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. But in this episode of the Fallible Nation, I'm going to share the exact step-by-step process I go through when I'm setting up my goals for the year. This is the blueprint I use to chase my intentions. This is the blueprint that's changed my life drastically in the last couple of years. Now, I've been removing roadblocks and testing this on myself and refining the process, but I am finally happy with where it's at to the point that I'm ready to share it with you guys so you can be more successful in striving to achieve your goals and take 2023 to a whole new level or whatever year you're watching this. So guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Now guys, full disclaimer, I don't do anything easy. So I tend to be in a bit of on the extreme personality side of things. I need hard limits to achieve the things I want to do. Right? Sarah says I'm really quiet. Is that better? Can you hear me now? I need extreme measures sometimes for me to achieve the things that I want to do as a person, because that's just my personality. I'm an all or nothing kind of person, and for better or for worse. So, buckle your seatbelts because I'm going to outline this process. And like I said, this is my process. I think it will help you out. Like I said, I've been working with and refining. I get to interview some of the most incredible professionals in the world, and I've gained my own experience the last couple of years and talking to them and gleaning what I can from them. And I have put together a decision-making process and the process of getting through my goals. It just works. So number one is decide where you want to be in a year, right? That should be pretty forthcoming. Now, I can't write that for you. I can't make that decision. This is the part of the blueprint I can't give you. Okay. This is your part. You have to do this. Sorry. You have to set your own goals. Brent can't set your goals, and you really don't want me setting your goals for you anyway, because I'm kind of mean, but you have to decide what that, and let's be realistic here. You can only really tackle one or two really big goals a year. If you're really good at it, you can get into, but you have to be specific. You have to be precise. You have to get really detailed in what you want. I'm not a huge fan of some of the new Disney films. I'm a Disney diehard from the old days. I grew up with the old cartoons, saw all of them growing up. But there is one part in the newer Aladdin with Will Smith I really liked, and it's where the genie kept prodding him. It's like, you got to be a little more specific. Let's do we want to make any tweaks on that? That's kind of a general idea. It's the same thing when you're setting goals. Okay, you have to get really precise and really detailed. You have to be so clear that you can taste it almost, right? When you're talking about it, when you're explaining it to somebody else, when you're explaining it to yourself, you need to feel that resolve and that desire because you've got such a clear image and understanding. You can't half-ass it. It has to be a really deep want. So let it consume you in your mind for a little while and just go all the way. Find where that is, what that looks like, picture it in every detail and work that up. If you can't fathom the concept of upending your entire life to pursue this goal, A, you're probably thinking too small, and B, you're probably not going to ride it all the way out. So that's my opinion. You could prove me wrong with that. But because this is important, you're going to do exactly that. You're going to up in your life a little bit if you really want to go after this dream. So keep that in mind when you're setting your goals. Hey, Shirley's jumping on. Hi, Shirley. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on tonight. I see Andy. Guys, as you jump on, just let us know you're here. Join in the conversation. It makes life a lot more fun for us. And hey, you have to listen to me less that way, right? It's a good thing. So get involved in the conversation. It makes for a good night. Now, the second step in this process, and I hope you guys brought a pen and paper because you're going to want to write some of this down. Thankfully, we're on video, right? So you can go back and watch this over and over again. That means you got to listen to me say the same thing over and over again, but you definitely want to take notes tonight. Number 2 is build SMART goals. Now, we're familiar with SMART goals. We talk about SMART goals a lot here, but break down that big goal or 2 into your SMART goals, right? We understand this process. So start breaking down the goal into SMART goals. Break them down completely. I mean, break them down little by little. 6-month setups, right? Break them down into 6-month processes, then break them into quarterly processes to achieve those 6-month processes. Then break those quarterly processes down into monthly processes, right? Break those monthly processes into weekly, into daily. Are you tracking with me here? Include timetables for every goal. Identify the cost, whether that's monetary, whether that's time constraints, whether that's resources. Identify the resistance. What's going to be in your way? What's going to slow you down? What's going to stop you? Because you have to take in all those. You have to build goals to overcome those things, right? That's part of the bigger goals. We have to build the goals to take care of the resistances and the cost and the headaches and all the things that slow us down. Goals, 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 right? Now, we've been through this, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that, but really go back to the other shows where we talk more about SMART goals. I'm serious. Okay. If you've never done project management, if you can't break it down to where it's like a 1-line sentence that's a simple click the task off, you haven't broken it down far enough. You have to get creative sometimes. Okay. I've broken down projects. I have a whiteboard that you guys don't see most time. It's on the wall. I don't shoot video against. And I mean, I have trees of just breakdown, right? Here's the big goal and it's way out because I think better writing things down that way. You can do it on a note program. You can do it on a notepad, but break it down into digestible, accomplishable, measurable pieces, right? SMART goals. Number 3, burn the ships. I mean, burn those suckers to the ground. Okay. You will not move from where you are right now doing the exact same thing that got you here. The same plan will not move you from getting into the gym and starting your fitness routine, right? I know I use that as an example because it's the beginning of the year and a lot of people are going to the gym for the first time. The same plan you're using to get you into the gym and try and get you into regular exercise will not get you to pulling double body weight deadlifts. It doesn't work that way. The same design you use to go from making a 5-figure salary to a 6-figure salary is not going to work. You can't go. That plan that got you to the 5-figure isn't going to get you to a 6-figure. You have to change the way you think. You have to change the way you do things. We talked about subtracting right before the new year, right? That was the last conversation we had for Fallible Nation Live. We talked about subtracting. So remove the pieces of your life that don't add to your life and make it better. Relationships, possessions, temptations, vices, habits, expenses, time-sucking distractions. Mop and scrub your schedule, guys. Okay. You have to burn the ships. Get rid of all the things that take you back in that comfort zone. Get rid of all the things that take you away and distract you. Get rid of all the things that hold you back. If it's not adding to your life, don't leave yourself the out. The first time I took my friend to an obstacle course race, he's like, what happens if we just can't go any farther? I said, you go farther. That's what you do. The only way off the course is via ambulance or across the finish line, as far as I'm concerned. When I start a race, that's what happens for me. When I'm doing OCRs, the only 2 ways off the course that are acceptable in my brain, like I said, I'm an extreme person, is via ambulance or via finish line. That's how I'm leaving the race. Okay. Burn the ships, leave yourself no other option but to chase your goals. Guys, before we keep rolling, I want to stop and say, hey, the Phoenix Conference is in 40 days, guys. I am so excited. And if you don't have your tickets for the Phoenix Conference, whether they're virtual tickets because you're farther away, or they're your local tickets, tickets are on sale on my website, www.thefallibleman.com/thephoenix. Go get your tickets. I am so excited, guys. We are stepping it up and taking it up a notch. We're going to have 5 of the 8 speakers present, 3 of them virtually. It's going to be an incredible experience. If you're here locally, we're going to have a strongman competition just for the kick of it, because I like strongman competitions and it sounded like a lot of fun. We're going to have all kinds of takeaways. I was sitting down with a group of guys this morning who was at our last event. They're still raving about it. So get your tickets online now. We are 40 days out from the Phoenix Conference. Virtual, local, like in person, or simulcast. If you've got a group where you are that wants to be a part of the Phoenix Conference and it's too far for them to travel, you know what? Get them together and let them have their own event. They're just going to benefit from our keynotes, right? And hey, Rob Lohman has entered the chat because we're across multiple platforms. You guys don't all see that, but Rob Lohman, who is one of our speakers at the conference, has entered the chat over on Facebook. Rob, thanks for jumping in tonight. Rob will be here in person, talking to you guys, getting to know you and hanging out. So jump in, get your tickets now. We're uber excited about the Phoenix. Man, things are happening so quick. I'm excited, guys. My whole week is spent on this week. Now, going back to tonight, number 4, okay? We already talked about this, right? Decide what you want for your big goal. Build it, the SMART goals, and break them down all the way down daily. Burn the ship so you got nowhere to go, okay? Commit, commit, commit. Number 4, plan the week. What is on your list for the week? What goals are there? What non-negotiables are there? What events are there? Put them on your calendar. Check in with your quarterly goals and make sure that the things for this week reflect your quarterly goals, right? Write it down. What is your big priority for the week? This is actually how the process I go through. I'm serious. This is what I do every week. I have notepads all over my desk. I've actually been working on building a journal just for this. Because right now I have spiral notebooks and notepads and post-it notes all over my desk, because this is what I go through every single week. This is what I do. I sit down, I plan out my week, I plan out my day, I cross things off my checklist, guys, and I make sure they're aligning with my bigger goals. Number 5, actively track daily. I know for some people, we're in a digital age, right? And so this really gets them. I got a friend who he hates writing down anything physically. Writing things down by hand makes you nuts if you're a digital person sometimes. But guess what? There is power in putting down on paper and getting it out of your head and actually writing it out. It creates a freedom, it creates a power, it creates an intention that you don't get by doing it digitally. I'm sorry. I look, I'm a computer guy too, and I work both sides of this. Writing it down is huge. I start the day writing down all the things that I have in my head, all the things that I need to get done, all the things I think I should get done. Then I consult my calendar for the things I have to and plan in and account for, right? All the non-negotiables, all the pre-scheduled stuff, all the things that are on my wife's calendar, all the things that are on my kids' calendar, right? I have all the non-negotiable stuff. Like I have to edit my podcast, right? That's part of my business. So all the non-negotiables, then I go through all the things I wrote down on what needs to be done, and I start marking them in priority order, urgency. I literally like little 1, 2. I know it sounds overly simplified, but I really draw in the number sequence. And I look at what's keeping me on task for my bigger goals, what's keeping me on task for maintaining my intention for that quarter, because I break my life into quarters. And then I focus on the top 3 because I know life happens. Some days I get all of it done. Some days I barely get the 3 done that I marked, but I got those 3 done, right? I organize my days, and I know it sounds kind of like crazy, but really it's how it works for me. Let's jump into the comments for a minute. Andrew says, it's funny. My first reaction, that's so extreme. That's not for me. But the more I think about it, the more I realize I really need to take it that way if I wanted to complete real life goals. That's me, Andrew. That's you know me personally. That's just how my brain works. I have to go to extremes sometimes for me to process things, for me to stay on track, for me to stay focused on what has to be achieved. I literally have to close the door on some other things. I have to decide what is valuable, what is important for my life, and what needs to happen for me to achieve my goals. And sometimes that requires shutting out other things and closing doors, old relationships, old friendships, old habits, things like that. Right. And it definitely hits a lot of people. They're like, I gave up gaming because I found out it took years away from my life. And I tried to go back to it for a little bit just for fun. And like, I don't have that kind of self control. So I've had to just shut that door because it takes from my life. It doesn't add to my life, right? It distracts from my goals. And that's me. I don't have the discipline to handle that in my life right now and to go back to that. As much as I still love gaming, and a game I've been waiting for years is getting ready to come out, but I still can't go do it. I'll probably never play it because I don't have the self-control, and to stay focused, I have to close those doors. It's nuts, but it's what works. It's why I succeed at a lot of my goals. I'm not going to lie and tell you guys I succeed at every single one of my goals, but I actually knock them out pretty effectively. And so this is how I do it. Number 6, daily reviews. When I get done for the day, I go through and make that mental checklist, sometimes that paper checklist. Usually before I walk away from my desk, I'm going down my notepad. What did I get done? I like to draw lines through things. It makes me feel accomplished to draw a line through it and be like, yes, that's over. I did it. What didn't I get done? Why? That's an important question for my brain. I have to process, did life happen? My kid get hurt or have to go to a game and I just ran out of time? What happened? Why didn't I get that done? Am I still in alignment with my bigger goals, right? Did what I achieved today really keep me on track with the bigger goals that I planned for it to keep me on track with? What went really well? What am I grateful for today? That's something I check in with myself every day. What needs to move to the top of tomorrow's list? Any thoughts that I had along the way that got jotted down, right? I'm looking at notes I took throughout the day going, that was a good idea, but I couldn't focus on it because I was focused on this. Do I need to do something with that? Do I need to move that somewhere, right? Then we jump into, on the other side of this, weekly review, right? I get to the end of a 5 or 7 day period, right? A full week. And I start asking myself the same questions. I look back through all my scratch papers, and really, guys, I'm not exaggerating. Oh, that one's blank. I got more stacks over here. I go back through my papers for the entire week. What did I get done? What didn't I get done? What needs to get done? What did I miss? Did I screw up anything? And I start going, did my week align with that goal that I had set for the week? Because I wrote down those goals at the beginning of the week. I said, I need to accomplish this week, right? So I'm going back and double checking that. I'm looking for why things didn't happen. Now, we can chase this all the way out to, hey, you wrapped up a quarter, right? Like I said, I work my life in quarters. The planner I'm putting together for myself, and maybe I'll release it for you guys too, if that's something you want, is literally, I'm trying to consolidate so I don't have sheets all over the place and just putting it in one notebook. The planner I'm putting together is exactly that. It's a quarter at a time. And it's got sheets I've got it basically done. I just haven't finished it, like printed it yet. But it's got sheets for, here's my quarterly goals. Then it's got sheets for the month. Then it's got a month worth of dailies. And each week has a checklist. Each week has its own sheet, right? Week by week by week. So I can go through the entire process that I just told you. This is exactly what I do. I'm now just trying to do it in a more organized fashion and actually consolidate it to one place so I don't have stacks of Post-it notes like this. Does anybody else, tell me in the comments, guys, does anybody else do this? I have stacks of these in my drawer because there were too many on my desk. And I was like, I threw away the ones I couldn't use anymore, and I stuck the other ones in there. Am I the only Post-it note guy? I love Post-it notes and whiteboards. I just do. And they go together. It's like, peanut butter and jelly. It's amazing. That is the biggest process I go through. But guess what? Then I hit a new quarter. And for me, a new quarter is a new phase, right? It's the next step in the yearly plan. Each quarter, right, 12 weeks is a phase of the bigger yearly plan that got broke down, because 12 weeks is enough to build a new habit. 12 weeks is enough to break a bad habit. 12 weeks is enough to make a new skill a secondary process, right? Keep working on it, but now after 12 weeks of doing it, it should not be the main focus, but a secondary goal that you keep practicing as a secondary focus, because you already put in the work to make it a skill, right? 12 weeks is enough to accomplish a significant task. It's amazing what you can do in 12 weeks when you really like ratchet down and hold yourself accountable and plan and think and schedule and get things done. You will just be able to knock things out. Now, if you're catching this on the replay, guys, tell me in the chat. Let me know, what do you use a planner? How do you organize your life? Does this sound just totally nuts to you? Now, guys, I want to share here's a kicker that you really need to grab onto. Okay. If you're going to try this, if this is making sense to you, here's one of the really powerful twists you can put into this. For every phase, at every stage in the plan, I ask myself, can I outsource it? Can I delegate it? Or can I automate it? Any, some, or all of any of this process, can I outsource, delegate, or automate it? Now, you may not be in a place where you can outsource some of your work. I get it. I'm not in a place where I can outsource much of my work, trust me. But I have a support system. So I have some people like my wife who help me with some stuff. But you may not have that support system. Maybe you do. It may not be a goal where outside sources can really help you with that thing, right? We all have different goals we're trying to accomplish. So maybe it's one of those where an outside source isn't going to be able to do much for you. Maybe you have some income and you can support delegating it out or outsourcing it out to some other people who can take off part of that load and help you accomplish those goals. Guys, the idea is to work intelligently through your goals, not to just like bullhead through it, because you're not going to get there. Okay. But do it intelligently. Weigh what's really important, break it down, work the process over and over and over again, and then figure out what else you can dump off to other people in a good way that's going to help you, right? Obviously, if you dump some stuff off to other people, it's not going to benefit your goals. But there are some things you can do that will help benefit your goals. Guys, rinse and repeat. This is the process I use in my blueprint. This is the way I do it. And over the last 2 years, as I've refined it, this has been an incredibly effective process for achieving goals. I am a lot farther in a lot of things than I ever thought I would 2 years into this venture of the Fallible Man. I'm just excited. Like I said, we're 40 days out from our second conference. I am so incredibly excited about that, guys. That is way farther than I thought I would be at this point in the Fallible Man. But we're so excited about that. And it's because of this process. Refined it. It's a rinse and repeat, and it works. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys. I know there are a lot of people thinking about goals right now. Some of you guys made New Year's resolutions. Some of you guys didn't. And that's okay. This isn't just for New Year's resolution. This is for actually going after goals. This is the blueprint that I use to achieve the goals. And I've achieved a lot of personal goals in the last 2 years using this methodology. Guys, I ran through that really fast. So if you're, spinning right now, go through, watch the video again later. Okay. Let me know what you think. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know what you think. What do you think of the idea? What do you think of the breakdown? I know it's kind of a lot to process really quickly, but it works over and over and over and over again for me. And I'm solid in the belief that it will work for you too. It will help you accomplish those goals that you want to this year, next year. It's very powerful. It's simple. That's why it works. Give it a run. Give it a try. Guys, I'm not seeing a lot of chit chat in the comments tonight. I'm amazing because I'm not amazing. I'm amazed because, I'm not that interesting. Usually you guys have better conversations than I do. I get lost watching your conversations. Guys, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us tonight and to give this a try. Let us know what you think. Go get registered for the Phoenix conference. come be a part of this incredible event. I can't wait to meet you all in person there. And as always, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. We'll see you on the next one.